All right, well, thank you for joining us. Today there's two of us here doing product knowledge, and we'll get this recorded for everybody else. The biggest thing I want to talk to you about product knowledge, I'm going to walk you through the catalog, but really it's about what you try and what you taste and what you do, and that's where the best product knowledge is going to come. So I really want to encourage you the second you get to your kit to rip it open and to purchase things you might not normally have thought of. I know at my most recent classes, I'm featuring a product that people thought, oh, I don't know if I'll like that, and then they fell in love. So think outside your typical, your typical eating box and try everything. We're going to flip over and we're just going to run through the catalog. And for those of you that don't know me yet, I'm Epicure Executive Director Dana Kale. And this is a training for any consultant actually, and though we're going to be specifically going through the USA catalog and US launches in just under 3 weeks. So that's what we're going to jump into is US catalog, and I'm going to share some of my favorites and basically how I share Epicure. You would not go through the catalog at a cooking class. This is catalog information for you. Cooking classes would look very different than this. Okay, so we're going to start off with our start of our catalog, our president and founder and our CEO. This is Sylvie, the mom here, and her daughter Amelia runs the company. They are brilliant dynamos, and they're all about bringing healthy food to all of us. So I love the mission that we stand for. And our mission is actually detailed, our Good Food mission is detailed right here on the first inside page of the catalog. And you'll notice things like gluten-free, non-GMO, kosher, peanut-free. So these are really important things for your customers to know, and you'll notice along the bottom there's a little legend. So it shows what are low sodium, no sodium. So your customers can feel confident knowing that we're really caring about what's in their food. They can also reference this never ever list. So in addition, and I reference this list at every class, in addition to caring about what's in our food, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that, we really are passionate about what's not in our food. And this is the list of things that Epicure says, we don't really need to put this in food. This is ridiculous, and all things that we're allowed to put into food. So that's a pretty big list. So I really love that we care about what's in our jars. So that's one of the most important pieces of product knowledge for you. So now let's jump into our little index. So this sort of goes through our categories. So we've got our time-saving cookware, which we featured at cooking classes. We've got our sweets and our teas. We've got boosters and toppers. So check out the description there. Boost nutrition with these flavorful staples. So we'll get into that a little bit more because I love that you're just cooking and you're getting extra nutrition. Then we have good food, real results. I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and though that's another video that's on YouTube that you can check out. And then meal solutions. So the meal solutions are all the things that you'd cook your everyday meals with. Okay, so let's jump in here. Good food real fast. This is meal planning easy. Okay, so we have a number of different kits. The theory behind good food real fast is it's everything in a box. It's ready to go. You just pick your style of cuisine and then use the recipe cards and cook. Now, to make the food so fast at our cooking classes, we use our microwave cookware. Now, I'm not here to convince anybody who's anti-microwave to switch. We've got fantastic cookware that is non-microwave cookware. And though, I was a serious skeptic when it came to microwave cookware, I was that person that I'd get distracted. So I would overthaw my beef or overthaw my chicken when I was thawing something. And then I'd get like that overcooked rubber bit on it. And I was like, no way am I going to cook meat in the microwave. You got rubber. Well, in the steamers, you don't. In the steamers, it's kind of magical. So the steamer, I could do probably a half-an-hour class on just the steamer because I love it so much now. Now, even last night, I grilled my meat on the barbecue. I thawed it in my steamer. I made my rice in my steamer. I make my soup in my steamer. I can cook chicken in the steamer, and I do often when it's just, if I want to have a quick lunch, there's no excuse. Because here's the thing, check this out, chicken tenders, frozen chicken tenders, you can put 3 of those in your steamer, any size, even the omelet, doesn't matter. Throw it in your microwave for about 1 minute, it will be thawed. You can pull off that weird white thing that's always on chicken tenders, and then I just sprinkled it with seasonings. maybe 1 to 2 minutes more, and those 3 chicken tenders are perfectly cooked, and I have a perfect portion of chicken, tender and juicy and melt in my mouth. And really, there's no excuse, because that's 3 minutes from frozen, for crying out loud, right? So that's one of the ways that I use my steamers. Rice in 10 minutes, right? Like, these steamers have saved me so much time. But before I used them, I did some major research, because I was not going to put things in my microwave, right? I'm from that danger era when microwaves first came out, you know, where you didn't even stand near it because you could feel it hum. Well, obviously microwaves have changed a lot in the last years. We're not even using the same cell phone technology, right? Cell phone technology has changed, so has microwave. There are tons of studies. I will link one in this video. There's actually studies that show that cooking in the microwave can be one of the healthiest ways to cook your vegetables. It keeps more nutrients than other methods. I'm not the scientist, don't shoot me if you don't believe me, but I swear by it, and I get my broccoli, like perfect, tender, crisp broccoli in 2 minutes, not overdone. You know, in the heat of the summer, who wants to turn on boil a pot of water in the summer? I do my pierogies and my bacon right in my steamer in about 6 minutes for a portion for 2 people. So I would chop up my 6 to 8 slices of bacon, because we like lots of bacon with our pierogies. So I would chop up 6 to 8 slices of bacon, put them in the bottom of my steamer. It comes in a little tray. You put the little tray on top. And then, I'm not sure if we can see you, Michelle, so I'm just going to stop your video, because I'm not sure if you record. So I'm just going to stop it, because I don't know what records. Actually, I should know, but I don't. So anyway, the microwave with the steamer, so I've got my bacon in the bottom, I've got my tray, I've got my pierogies on top, and then the bacon cooks, and the steam from the bacon cooks the pierogies. So the pierogies are cooked with bacon steam. There's no grease all over my stovetop. There's no boiling a pot of water for 10 minutes before you put the pierogies in. The whole thing's done in 6, right? Like, how is that not a life-changing piece of cookware? So I could go on, but I won't, because there's so many other things to talk about. Okay, so our meal kits, so our good food real fast meal kits. We're all about good food real fast, and we have meal kits partnered with that, as I mentioned. So for here, for example, is our Italian. They come with the recipe cards. There's recipes on the jars, of course, as well, and extra recipes on the cards. And it's really as simple as pick a recipe card, buy your ingredients, cook dinner, and all the recipes are fast, super fast, healthy recipes to get you in and out of the kitchen quickly, right? I think it's dinner time where Michelle is, and she's got people cooking and stuff happening in her home because of the time of day that I set this. So that's a great thing, is that you can put a dinner on the table really fast with your meal kits and your steamers and so many of our cookware. So you've got a number of meal kits: Italian, burgers, Mexican, Asian, Greek. I believe Greek and Mexican are in your kit. So I've got a good Mexican class here on YouTube and on our USA page that you can watch. And it sort of walks you through doing a Mexican cooking class. Okay, good food, real results. It really is a lifestyle. It's a way of eating. It's all about the right food at the right time, fantastic flavor, never feeling hungry, basically. So here's the Good Food Real Results Epic Life Collection. So this is a curated grouping of products that matches a cookbook with over 100 recipes and lots of build your own guides as well. So you'll never get bored, because there's so much freedom and creativity. And if you're looking for more recipe ideas, there's lots on my website, danakl.com, because this is how I eat. So I just want to say, like, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to eat what somebody else said when we were testing the program. I was like, yeah, no way. My food needs to be super creative. It needs to be interesting. I get bored easily. I like lots of food. Well, I didn't get bored because it was so easy to substitute. There were 100 recipes to choose from. I did the test pilot, and in that 100 days, I lost 40.8 pounds. And this is, for the most part, how I eat to this day. And I was thrilled that I got to eat more than ever. So it's not a diet, it's not a restriction, it's just showing you how to lay out your meals so they're always super nutritious. Now, there is a meal plan in the Good Food Real Results guide that people can follow, and it can really just be as simple as pick a breakfast, pick a lunch, pick a dinner, pick a dessert if you want one, and eat them. It really can just be that simple. So that's something that I am super passionate about, and it is my #1 host half price item. Steamer would be #2. So most of my hosts choose this collection because even if they're not looking for a meal plan makeover, it's still just a heck of a good deal, and they get 100 recipes with matching spices. So to me, that's a no-brainer. Everybody should have an Epic Life collection. Okay, so then we're going to jump into some great cookware to really set yourself up for fast cooking. There is the sheet pan. Now I'm going to show you all these things are featured elsewhere, but I'm going to give them a quick review here. There's the sheet pan, which is basically your cookie sheet, and it's got a fantastic bake and roll cover. So what I love about the bake and roll is that, let's say I was baking some bacon in the oven. So my bake and roll would contain that grease. It wouldn't just slide off and cover my cookie sheet. If I'm making chicken, even if I'm making like a nice shake and bake style of chicken, or some anything that's sort of saucy and gooey, all that sauce just sort of slides off of your parchment paper, your Silpat, and then you've got to wash your pan and your sheet. Well, I would really rather just wash one. And of course for cookies, right, just beautiful non-stick. The cookies just slide right off and have a fantastic bottom. I can't say enough about that. Prep bowls, they come in your kit. You're gonna love them. The prep bowls are so handy. I've always got bowls full of things in my fridge, and it's the perfect size when you just want like a small portion of pudding or a personal portion of anything. It's really perfect for that, and the lids seal beautifully. So that's that. I'm going to get into the multi-pot a little bit later. Okay, protein blend. If you've ever tried vegan protein, you know that they are like extremely gritty for the most part. I've tried 6 or 7 different vegan proteins. They have all been super gritty. Some of them just taste like vegetables, which, you know, might be your thing. It's really not mine. I want my protein to be able to go in a beautiful strawberry smoothie or mixed berry smoothie. I swear by this protein powder. I have it in my breakfast every single day. So whether I'm having it in my smoothie in the morning, or whether I'm having my overnight oatmeal, I make it with quinoa, but it's an overnight oatmeal sort of thing. Well, made instantly in the morning though, but it's an oatmeal made with the protein. And when I travel, I take the protein with me and I make overnight oatmeal in my hotel room. So I just love that it is vegan. Of course, I love the flavor. I don't find it to be nearly like what a typical vegan protein is. People that taste it at my cooking classes that are used to a vegan protein just taste a little bit in their tongue, and they're like, oh my gosh, that is so smooth for a vegan protein. So I love that. Lots of probiotics. Like, how many protein powders have probiotics in them for you? So you're getting that extra health boost as you're having your protein. So I don't necessarily sample it at classes, other than I have a tiny spoon in mine and I let people taste it. So that's, if you wanted to sample a protein, they can certainly do that. And of course, there's always breakfast classes and smoothie classes. There's lots of options, although it's not something that you need to do for people to get how great it is. Okay, smoothie boosters. Cocoa acai is the stuff of the gods, in my opinion. It's in my breakfast every single morning, because why wouldn't I have chocolate for breakfast? I've released 70 pounds with Good Food Real Results and maintained that weight loss. So being able to have chocolate for breakfast using our cocoa acai and our cocoa crunch make me super happy. And look at these beautiful smoothie bowls. How gorgeous is that? Super Greens is my go-to in my salad dressing. It is, of course, for putting in your smoothies, although I prefer a berry smoothie, so I prefer to use the greens in a different way. So I use the Super Greens in my Goddess Italian dressing. You can find that on the epicure.com website. You can also find it on mine. I use the Super Greens in the brand new coleslaw dressing. Oh my gosh, it is an amazing dressing. I don't know if you have that in the US. If you don't, when you come to Canada, you'll give it a try. It's brand new for us. It might not even stay. But the Italian with the Super Greens and the balsamic with the Super Greens, out of this world delicious. So try them in your salad dressings as well as your smoothies. Be super creative. Another way with your smoothie booster is just to take your vanilla yogurt or your plain Greek yogurt and stir in some cocoa acai. And basically, it tastes almost like chocolate pudding. It's so good. Or chocolate yogurt, right? You can't go wrong with chocolate. Okay, meal solutions. These meal packages, I always have a couple of all of them on hand because they are delicious. You know, everybody's favorites are going to be different. The pulled pork and the pulled chicken are always top fan favorites. The veggie burger is a huge hit. When I have had people, I did a vegan trade show and people came by and bought the veggie burger. The lady called me like 2 days later and ordered 6 sets of veggie burger because it was so good that she couldn't wait to make it again. My favorite way to make it is to use carrots instead of zucchini because they just have a little bit more flavor. And I think it's delicious. You can change it, the quinoa to rice, and it really makes 4 delicious, tasty veggie burgers. Now, there's a lot of one-pot items like the mac and cheese. You've got to try this mac and cheese. Like this, this is crazy. This stuff is delicious. I know people that have completely sworn off of KD. They'll never go back. This tastes so much better. I use it in a number of different things, and for me, it makes the best popcorn seasoning. But the idea with these is that it's everything in the bag ready to go. So like your chili, it's got the vegetables in there. So all you need to do is add your can of tomatoes, your beans, and your ground beef. And you've got chili. You don't have to chop up all those other vegetables and saute them. You just dump it all together in a frying pan. And you get this robust, richly flavored chili that's not spicy. You can add your own heat if you like. But you've got that ready in 20 to 30 minutes. So that's the idea behind these meal solution packages. We get rid of all the scary stuff that's in so many of the grocery store packages, and we make meals so fast and easy. Like creamy chowder. This thing has been a huge hit. I'm allergic to shellfish, so I've been making like a corn and bacon chowder, corn and potato chowder, right? There's all sorts of things. Just mix it up and use your own creativity. And of course, the Epicure website will give you lots of ideas. You can search even by product. There's over 2,000 recipes on there. So your customers are never going to get bored. There's going to be lots of ideas, and you can work your way through that recipe database and eat for years, really. So I love that we have how much information we have to share with you. Okay, so more packages. Butter chicken at home, General Tao, Pad Thai, right? These are the takeout makeovers. They're, you can make these things quickly and easily at home. How awesome is that? Buffalo chicken, I love just mixing up a little bit of this sauce and rubbing it on a cauliflower and baking it or roasting it. It's so good. The gyro, I cannot get enough of this. Now, in addition to being delicious, I like to use a pork and beef base because it's a little bit moister. This is one of my all-time favorites on chicken. So I use this package, a little bit of olive oil, and maybe the juice of a whole lime. I wouldn't use the whole package, maybe half. And I would put that on 5 or 6 chicken breasts or a bunch of thighs. And it is crazy good Mediterranean chicken, gyro, and lemon juice and olive oil. So, right, thinking outside the box again, there's so many things you can do. Now, I love this collection. This is a great way for people to, a starter, right? Like if people are brand new to Epicure, I would consider this collection the perfect starter kit. So grab this and a steamer, maybe a couple of jars, and you are set. So you've got in here 1 of 5 different types of meal solutions and then 5 different samplers. And it comes with a little meal plan that shows you how to put together, like say, your salad to go with your mac and cheese, right? So I just love how they have paired that. So that's something for definitely to be a major feature and a great sampler method. And this is the 3-week dinner collection. So people can basically get this, and it shows the dinner collection. It has 15 meal solutions with recipes on the back. So really you can mix it up, and there's so many different ideas, and they're all balanced with good food well results. Okay, Gravies. Our Gravies have a nutritional yeast base. So we haven't talked about nutritional yeast base yet. A number of our products have nutritional yeast. So the biggest benefit of nutritional yeast is it's a great boost of B12. So that's one of the things that I love about our products, is that we incorporate a number of extra nutritional components. So in addition to having removed the scary stuff that's in most other products, we have added health benefits like nutritional yeast, like chia, like we've got, the one that's at the bottom of the ocean, spirulina. We've added all of these great things to give you that nutrition boost at the same time as you're just having dinner, right? How great is that? So Gravies have a nutritional yeast base, and the sodium is so crazy low. And you're going to find that with most Epicure products, the sodium is going to be really low, and you might actually just want to add your own salt, because that's the better way to do it, right? Make it super low.
Thank you.
and flavor it for yourself. And of course, you might find that you'll need to. Okay, so we've got in here, we've got a little wind happening. Just meet Glenn, who might be outside somewhere. So we've got this brand new gluten-free pizza crust. We don't have it in Canada yet. We're apparently going to get a taste test of it this summer, so I can't wait to try it. It's got 6 grams of protein per slice. That's crazy. That is, like, that's game-changing to be able to get that much protein in your gluten-free pizza crust. That's wild. I cannot wait. Sauce mixes. These sauce mixes are all super fast, like 20 minutes. You don't have to have your sauce simmering all day. You've got, you know, maybe your crushed tomatoes, your diced tomatoes, whichever way you want to make it, whatever the jar says. If you're following that recipe, I just sort of take whatever crushed tomatoes and frozen tomatoes I might have from the summer that I took in my freezer, dump them all in a pot, throw some spice seasoning on, and we are off to the races. No problem, bud. Okay, so we are going to jump in next. Herb and spice blends. Okay, there are so many of these. You only need a teaspoon or 2 of the average seasoning when you're going to use them. So you're going to use not very much at all. And they're going to give this bright, vibrant flavor. Not sure what happened there. Okay, SPG, salt, pepper, garlic. That's like a must-have in every kitchen. Fajita, it comes in the Mexican kit. It is a beautiful go-to everyday spice. Asian stir fry. I use that in all my stir fries. I use it for crusting some chicken fingers. Souvlaki I use regularly. Oven roast is like that delicious flavoring that you get on the outside of a rotisserie chicken. That's how I would use my oven roaster to sprinkle it on a chicken breast and cook it up. Rosemary garlic is delicious on an oven fry. It's delicious as a chicken seasoning. You can use it as a gorgeous chicken for rotisserie as well. You know, Cajun, use it for your fries. Use it in your Alfredo, like a Cajun Alfredo. There's a winning dish right there. So I love to just make a nice blackened Cajun chicken breast, and then make Epicure's creamy Alfredo in the microwave in like 3 minutes. And it actually tastes like real Alfredo, not like crazy, scary Alfredo that you get in a can. And it's super low fat, depending, you can make it with your own milk. I often make it with an almond milk or a cashew milk, and then put that gorgeous Cajun chicken on top. You've got a delicious meal. Okay, dips. So we have a famous extraordinary cheese dip. It's called, it's called extraordinary cheese dip. It is made with our 3 most commonly purchased products. So CCB stands for cheese, chive, and bacon. That's done with a vegetarian bacon. So that's the key. Everything in Epicure that has a bacon, it is vegetarian bacon made with pinto beans. Okay, so the only products that actually have meat are the gravies and the broths. The other products don't have meat. They have a vegetarian, so that is way more friendly for most people to enjoy our products. So, and of course we are avoiding soy because soy is an allergen, especially in the US. It's considered a listed allergen. So we're eliminating soy in our products, and I don't believe the US products have them. I can verify that though. And of course you will always have a consultant. As a consultant, you will have an ingredient list that is for your own reference. So if somebody says, you know what, I really don't love cilantro, I want to make sure whatever I buy doesn't have cilantro in it, no problem, you can easily check that. We have robust allergen lists. So when somebody says, you know what, I can't have garlic, I can't have whatever that is, we've got a list, and we can easily give that to the customer, and then they know which items won't be perfect for them. Okay, so and if somebody says to me, like, I really want to know about, I love the taste of rosemary, right? What has rosemary? I can check my ingredient list and recommend products for them that might have a lot of rosemary, for example. So now the dips are not just about dip, as you can see, right? We've used them here in scrambled eggs, in a tuna sandwich, of course, making guacamole. The guacamole is seriously the best tuna seasoning out there. It is my go-to. I cannot get enough of it. I adore it. I also use it in mashed potatoes. I use it just straight in sour cream. Makes a delicious chip or veggie dip just without the avocado. And of course, it does make the best avocado-based guacamole out there. So the thing is, though, get your jar, and if you're a sniff and cook, right, smell it, get an idea of how you can use it. If you're the type of person who you would prefer a recipe, there are, as I said again, 2,000 recipes on the database. So you can get your herb and garlic dip, and you might smell it and go, you know what, I think that'd be delicious in garlic butter, or I think that would make a flavorful rice. You could also go to the West recipe database and get ideas there. So, and I've been cooking with Epicure for 21 years, so, you know, I can rattle this stuff off. You don't have to. You're not expected to. At a cooking class, I'm not sharing all of this information. I'm talking about the prices that we're cooking with. People can look in a catalog and see curry and go, oh, I like curry. I will get that, right? So I'm giving you information so you get ideas. There's no way I would be going to a catalog like this at a cooking class in any way, shape, or form. This is just sort of some overviews for you so you can get some extra ideas for when you get your kits. But at a cooking class, again, I would be doing the cooking class format using the meal kit and talking about those specific spices, highlighting others, and having people share their favorites if they've had Epicure in the past. Because, of course, anybody else that is talking about, you know, when a host is talking about something she loves or customers talking about something they love, that is much more powerful than anything that I could ever say, regardless of how many years I have cooked with Epicure, right? Okay, so we have some of our delicious rubbed Montreal steak. I just made a dip yesterday with Montreal steak, not yesterday, last weekend, Montreal steak and 3 onion, steak and onion dip. That stuff is crazy good. I have had so many comments of people saying they're using it on their burgers, they're using it for potato chips, they're using it on, I don't know, everything. My son loaded it on his baked potato. He doesn't even eat yogurt, and it's made with mostly Greek yogurt. So that's the thing about Epicure, is you can trick people into eating healthy things that they might not normally like, because you put a little bit of delicious spice in it. Roasted garlic aioli, you see the little bowl of it on this page? OMG. That stuff is the bomb. We've got some piri piri, Canada. I think this will be a huge hit in the US because, you know, Canada is known for its maple. This stuff is so good that when it first came out, we poured it in our hands and ate it. We just sat here in the office. We just sat here in the office pouring it in our hand and eating it, because it's just really that good. So you put it on a salmon, put it on your chicken. I have customers, like, this is a seasonal product for Epicure typically. It's not typically in our summer catalog. It leaves after our summer catalog. In the US, you get to have it all the way until April. In our summer catalog, I have people that in August will order like 6 to 8 Canada, because it is a go-to in their house and they don't want to run out over the winter. That's how good this is. Okay, we've got our fantastic burger press. You can make different sized burgers. You can make stuffed burgers. The big burger sauce, excuse me, that stuff is crazy good. You have got to make that burger sauce. A burger class would be a great cooking class to do. You could use your burger press, use your burger sauce and your burger seasoning. That burger sauce rivals the best fast food burger sauce, but with more flavor and better for you. So really, it's another takeout makeover that you can do at home. And of course, you can just make as much as you need. You don't need to have jars of things in your fridge. Okay, I need a sip of water. Okay, chipotle aioli. This is the magic for when you just want to have a quick little chipotle mayo to go with some yam fries, or spreading some chipotle mayo or roasted garlic mayo on a sandwich. Oh my gosh, like, you'll never go back. When I was making a lot of paninis for my kids when they were home, we would put chipotle mayo, and then we would put some like smoked turkey and a little Havarti or some delicious cheese and throw that on the panini press. I had kids coming from blocks to eat sandwiches in my house. That was so good, and it turns, you know, a basic sandwich into this delicious gourmet sandwich. The roasted garlic aioli, use that dry in your mashed potatoes. Use it, of course, as an aioli, but anywhere you want roasted garlic flavor, instant. Throw a little bit in your tomato sauces to add that rich roasted garlic flavor. It's just a dry seasoning that you can do anything with. Okay, our mustards. Oh, they are organic mustards. They are absolutely delicious. I can't get enough of the sweet and spicy. I think it's a little bit moreish, like you just got to eat more and more. Our salsa poco picante take your basic can of tomatoes or fresh diced tomatoes. Throw in some poku, throw in some lime juice, throw in some cilantro if you like it. You can throw in some other vegetables, and it is really a delicious, fresh salsa. It'll be part of the Mexican meals that you'll be doing, and people fall in love with this salsa. Now, my hint to you would be it's kind of spicy. So it's called medium, but I think it's kind of medium on a Mexican scale, not medium on a North American scale. So I like it at full strength, but I actually like things that are like a level 3 or 4 in a Thai restaurant. So I recommend you start with less salsa mix than the jar calls for, and then adjust to your own tolerance. Okay, salad dressings. Oh my gosh, we have the best salad dressings. So the Italian and the balsamic are things that I add my super greens to all the time to give it that extra boost of healthy super green spirulina action in my salads. The Caesar is so good. It's creamy. It reminds me a lot of the Renee's Fresh style. I make it sort of but not quite as lightweight, but I think it's delicious. The sesame ginger, you will never have a better salad dressing for a noodle salad. Out of this world good. All you do is add it to a little bit of rice vinegar and soy sauce, and I use Bragg's for gluten-free, so I keep my classes gluten-free, and that stuff is the bomb. Greek is also your Greek seasoning. We have a souvlaki seasoning. Use your Greek salad dressing, add a little bit of garlic to it, and you've basically got delicious Greek seasoning for your chicken, or whatever you might want to use that Greek seasoning for. Okay, so the chicken broths, we talked about the nutritional yeast. The nutritional yeast is again here in the chicken broth. So you can totally use the chicken broth for your B12 boost. And again, of course, you're going to want to add your own salt because it's really low in salt. I love the vegetable, especially. That's the one that I use the most in my classes, because that way, if I have any vegetarians at my classes, if I throw some chicken broth, let's say in the rice, then I know that they can have, you know, that part of the meal easily. And I love that it's got like fun flavors and colors, and you can see the vegetables in it, so it looks really beautiful as well. Okay, pantry staples, minced garlic. This is a must-have in every single kitchen, because I know I am not the only one whose garlic starts to turn green and grow on them. So the minced garlic saves that. What is the amount? I don't know if it shows here. The equivalent. So the minced garlic, it doesn't say it in, oh yeah, there it is. Okay. So a tablespoon of minced garlic is 6 cloves of garlic. So when I just need to have a little bit of garlic, I'm just taking a teaspoon, right? Like how brilliant is that? And that's a big jar and it lasts me forever. Salts and peppers, the herbed garlic sea salt and the turmeric pepper. I would be adding those to one of my first orders because those are extraordinary. Now the benefit of being a US consultant when you get started, you can be your own host. So you can add like these things that you're falling in love with, add them to your list to get them free. When you're placing your first host order, you can stock up your pantry and your kit with all these extra items without having to pay for them. And of course, you get your $100 spend credit when you have your first 4 classes, and you can add to your kit or to your kitchen that way as well. Okay, Switch the 6. Fantastic assortment of products in here. It's got that 3 onion. 3 onion is your onion replacer. You can use a tablespoon or 2 to equal a quarter of an onion. That's just the perfect way to sneak onion into things for people who don't like onion. So that's how I sneak in the onion. The creamy ranch makes a fantastic dressing. It makes a great dip. It's a delicious addition to a gravy. Seriously, like a little teaspoon or half teaspoon of your 3 onion added to your gravy, even like your fresh gravy from rotisserie from roasting a chicken, that creamy ranch just takes it up a notch. And of course, grated popcorn. I think I might have said that because I'm obsessed with popcorn. And popcorn is made in 2 minutes and 35 seconds in my fantastic multi-purpose steamer. And you know what I love? There's no oil added. So when I'm going to add some calories, I'm going to add my butter. I'm not wasting my calories in the oil used to pop my popcorn. I'm using my calories deliciously for butter and probably some mac and cheese seasoning on top. Okay, and then in this one, of course, is mac and cheese and chocolate pudding. So that's what's in Switch the 6. This would be another perfect starter kit for somebody. Not a business starter kit, but a kitchen starter kit. Okay, so that would be a perfect kitchen starter kit. That and a steamer, you're off to the races. Okay, chocolate pudding. We talked about that on the other page. You can. What I love about it is it's instant pudding. Just whisk it up, make 6 delicious portions of pudding. And did you know that the pudding in the grocery store has red dye and yellow dye? That's part of where the brown comes from. It doesn't come from a rich quality cocoa. It comes from food coloring. Like, what the hell? Anyway, that stuff just cheeses me off because it's ridiculous. So anyway, chia jam, make your own jam in minutes. I don't use a lot of jam in this house, but I always have frozen fruit for my smoothies. So when we want jam, I just grab my chia jam and I quickly whip myself up whatever kind of jam I have, whatever kind of fruit I have in the kitchen, and I've got a delicious jam, or I can thin it out a bit and have it as a delicious fruit sauce, right? Pour some thinned chia jam mix over like a cheesecake or something. So good. Okay, perfectly portioned desserts. This Perfect Petites down on the right-hand side. Oh, I don't know why somebody's calling me repeatedly. I'm just wanting to make sure there's nothing wrong with my daughter because she's at work. So I'm just gonna pause the recording for a minute. I'm just gonna mute. Sorry about that. That was somebody that I sold a bed to on Facebook and totally forgot she was coming. So she's at my front door. So I gave her instructions to help herself to bed in my home. Okay, so Perfect Petites, I love this thing. It's perfect for desserts because they just pop right out. They're the perfect size. The other thing I love it for is for things that are not dessert. So I use it for like granola bars. I use it for meatloaf. So I used it the first time when it came out and we were in a big hurry to get to soccer, and I'm like, oh my God, meatloaf takes an hour, and I'm that person that cuts meatloaf like 8 times to make sure it's not raw in the middle. And instead, I just threw my meat into my Perfect Petites, threw it in the oven for 20 minutes, and I had perfect meatloaf. I eat gluten-free for the most part, so I use it for my cheesecakes because I don't even need to put a crust on the bottom. I can just pop those little 2-bite cheesecakes right out of that pan, right down the gullet, and it's perfectly delicious. The gluten-free brownie, super tasty. My kids don't find it sweet enough. So they like to add a little extra sugar, but that's where the chocolate fudge sauce comes in my world. So we've got all the chocolate you could need with Epicure. Okay, so whoops, what did I miss back there? Okay, so that's our sweet dips, chocolate carrot cake and summerberry. What I love again is the chocolate's actually not food coloring because we don't do food coloring in Epicure. We have beautiful flecks of red and pink through the summerberry. That comes from the berries, and it comes from hibiscus because that's how we color things in Epicure. When we're going to add red coloring, we're going to add hibiscus flowers to get that coloring. So the great thing is that you can use these to flavor your yogurt. Let's say you buy plain yogurt from the store. You can use these to flavor your yogurt, and then you can, I think they're coming to the door. Hang on just a second. It has less sugar than any other method. Like if you're buying pre-sweetened yogurt, it's much less sweet. Hang on, sorry, I'll be right back. Okay, so we've handled that. I've given her directions. The teas. I cannot get enough hibiscus bliss tea. I actually have some steeping in a jug right now in the sunshine. This stuff is the bomb. This is what I make at most of my cooking classes as a drink if somebody wants to have a drink. So we would make the hibiscus bliss. I would make a basic simple syrup with maybe a couple of tea bags, some water and some sugar. Brew that till it gets this bright, vibrant pink color. You can see it there in the middle, how gorgeous it is. And then we would muddle some mint with some ice, pour on the hibiscus bliss, top that with some club soda. That is the smoothest, most refreshing drink. It just goes down gorgeously, and people fall in love. Golden milk is, golden milk's delicious. Mix it with your milk. It's super, it's an Ayurvedic tea. It's super delicious. It's yellow, it's creamy. Oh, their teas are so good, and I'm not a tea drinker. I bought tea mugs when Epicure brought out teas because I became a tea drinker. Turmeric and ginger is super good and healthy for you. I actually have a little bit of that in the tea that's steeping out in my yard right now. It didn't get sunny till 4, so I might be waiting a while. Okay, so we've got, of course, a gorgeous cutting board, some cutting mats, and our fantastic knife. I don't know if the knife is on this page, but these are the start of our prep tools. Okay, so the 4-in-1 spice spoon there at the bottom, this is a must-have. You've got to have a couple of these at the class. People will fall in love because it goes in the jars. You know, I don't know who has invented most measuring spoons in the world, but they don't go in any jar and they're annoying. Ours are fantastic because they go in the jar. So you can, it's called the 4-in-1. I usually just call it a teaspoon, half teaspoon, a tablespoon, right? Because that's the average things you're going to measure. Again, we already talked about the prep bowls. I'm not going to cover everything because, of course, it's a big catalog. Ground meat separator, totally worth the drawer real estate. I never in a million years would have thought that my meat would separate faster with that tool. I thought that was hokiness. I tried it. I fell in love instantly. It has a place in my heart forever. These tools, the features of them, they're not going to turn red or pink. They're not going to turn yellow, right, when you use them in a curry. They're going to stay their gorgeous purple color. They're heat resistant to 425 degrees, as is all of our silicone. Your steamer is heat resistant to 425, so you can put that puppy in the oven if you like. I can leave my spatula just sitting in my pot as I'm cooking. I don't need to worry about it melting. I do that specifically at cooking classes so that people are shocked. They're like, oh, your spatula. I'm like, yeah, no worries, it's fine. Right? People fall in love with that. So our cookware, we've already talked about the proportion and the steamers. We have a variety of different sized steamers. And you know, the best opportunity or the best product we have is our opportunity. And I really, you know, encourage you to share that with people because really that's what our business is all about. It's about giving life-changing options. I am sitting here working at home in my gorgeous garden, and I have worked for myself for 17 years of the 21 years I've been with Epicure. And I was home with my 3 kids the whole time, making a 6-figure income and working my schedule around their lives. That is the best product Epicure has. So make sure you are sharing that with everybody. And I think that's the end of our catalog. That's our host program. So that's not product knowledge, but that's something you can check out online. We give away lots of fantastic things to our host. And there's our little handy index, because to this day, if somebody says, what page is that on? I really don't have a clue, and I reference the index every single time. So I love how robust it is. We're just going to open it up for questions. I love we have a recipe right on the back as well. Does anybody have any questions before I go and make sure this little woman's not robbing me blind? I'm sure she's fine. I see her carrying pieces of furniture out. Okay, so everybody's muted, so I don't know if anybody's trying to unmute. Okay, we have something popping on the chat. Whoopsie. Whoa, I don't know what I just did there. Cancel that. Okay, awesome. Well, I guess that's everything, people. It gives you an idea of what we have to offer, and of course, our best product being our opportunity. We're going to call that our meeting for the day, and I'm going to sign off and go help this lady carry the bed out. Bye, everyone.